They'll tell you that motivation is everything. They'll tell you to watch a video, to listen to a speech, to feel a spark of fire in your chest and call it the key to success. But here's the truth they don't want to admit. Motivation fades. It burns hot and bright, like gasoline on fire, but it burns out just as quickly. Discipline, on the other hand, is cold, steady, relentless. Discipline is the silent force that drags you forward when motivation disappears. Discipline is the reason champions rise before dawn, when every part of their body begs to stay in bed. Discipline is the reason visionaries keep working when the world tells them they're wasting their time. Discipline is the reason you keep walking in the dark when everyone else has gone home. Think about it. Motivation is what makes someone go to the gym on January 1st, full of resolutions and energy. Discipline is what makes them keep showing up on February 15th, when the crowd is gone, when the cameras are off, when nobody is clapping. Motivation can get you started. Discipline is the only thing that keeps you going. And if you're serious about greatness, you can't build it on feelings. You can't build it on sparks of excitement that come and go with the wind. You build it on habits. You build it on repetition. You build it on the days when you don't feel like moving at all, but you do it anyway. The world doesn't reward the person who feels motivated. It rewards the person who shows up anyway. Look around at the people you admire. Do you think they woke up every single day inspired, excited, on fire? No. But they woke up every single day and did the work. Michael Jordan didn't become Michael Jordan because of motivation. He became who he was because when practice was over, he stayed on the court, shooting hundreds of shots alone. Elon Musk didn't build rockets because of motivation. He built them because he worked through nights when everyone else gave up. Steve Jobs didn't create Apple because of motivation. He created it because his obsession and discipline refused to let him quit when things got hard. That's the difference. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire that never goes out. And here's the dark truth. Discipline isn't glamorous. Nobody applauds you for waking up at 4 a.m. Nobody sees you when you're sitting in silence, grinding alone, sacrificing comfort while others sleep. Nobody will clap for you in the beginning. They'll doubt you. They'll laugh at you. They'll call you obsessed. But obsession is what separates the ordinary from the legendary. Obsession fueled by discipline is unstoppable. So let this sink in. You don't need to feel good to do the work. You don't need motivation to move forward. You just need to decide that no matter how you feel, you will not stop. That no matter what they say, you will keep going. That no matter how heavy your body feels, how tired your mind is, how loud your doubts scream, you will still rise. You will still show up. You will still do what needs to be done. Because in the end, the world doesn't care about your feelings. The world doesn't care if you're tired, unmotivated, or uninspired. The world only respects results. Results don't come from feelings. Results come from discipline. You see, motivation is like the weather. It changes with the wind. It rises with the sun. It fades with the night. One day it's bright and warm and pushes you forward. The next, it's cold and stormy and leaves you paralyzed. But discipline? Discipline is the unshakable ground beneath your feet. Discipline doesn't care if it's raining, if it's snowing, if the world is against you. Discipline doesn't bend with moods or feelings. It's the silent contract you make with yourself. I will show up, no matter what. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They don't fail because they lack opportunities. They fail because they rely on motivation. They wait for the right mood, the right spark, the right time. But those who rely on motivation will always be inconsistent. Some days they'll show up, some days they won't. And inconsistency is the enemy of greatness. Discipline destroys inconsistency. Discipline is what keeps the machine running, day after day, regardless of storms, regardless of moods, regardless of whether the world is clapping or not. Picture this: a writer staring at a blank page. Motivation whispers, Wait for inspiration. Discipline demands write anyway. The writer who waits will write a few great pages in their life. The writer with discipline will write thousands, and from those thousands will come masterpieces. The same is true for athletes, entrepreneurs, musicians, leaders. The ones who wait for motivation remain dreamers. The ones who practice discipline become legends. And here's the harsh truth. Discipline hurts. Discipline feels like dragging yourself through fire some days. It feels like denying yourself the easy road when every nerve in your body wants to take it. It feels like rejection, loneliness, fatigue, sacrifice. But inside that pain is power. Because every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're building something inside yourself. You're building strength that cannot be broken. You're building a foundation so solid that storms can rage and winds can howl, and you will still stand. The gym at 5 a.m., when it's empty and cold, that's where discipline is born. The late nights staring at your work when your friends are out partying, that's where discipline is forged. The mornings when you drag yourself out of bed against every cell in your body, that's where discipline is carved into your bones. You don't become great in the spotlight. You become great in the shadows, and the shadows will test you. The shadows will whisper, "Why are you doing this? Nobody cares. Nobody sees you. Nobody is watching." But that's the point. Discipline is not about being seen. Discipline is about building yourself when nobody is watching, because one day the world will see. One day the results will speak. One day the same people who ignored you will wonder how you did it. And when they ask, the answer won't be motivation. The answer will be discipline. So let me ask you, are you chasing motivation or are you building discipline? Are you chasing sparks that die out or are you building a fire that never goes out? Because greatness doesn't belong to the motivated. Greatness belongs to the disciplined. Discipline doesn't shout. It doesn't announce itself with fireworks or applause. Discipline is quiet. Discipline is the alarm clock that rings at 4:30 in the morning. Discipline is the notebook filled with plans that nobody else ever reads. Discipline is the meal you skip because you're focused on fueling your body, not feeding your cravings. Discipline is the repetition of the same action, over and over, until it becomes muscle memory, until it becomes second nature, until it becomes who you are. And that's the secret. Discipline isn't something you do. It's something you become. At first, it feels forced. At first, it feels unnatural. Waking up early feels like torture. Working when you're exhausted feels impossible. Choosing focus over comfort feels like punishment. But with every repetition, with every sacrifice, with every choice to show up when you don't want to, you are rewiring yourself. You are carving a new identity into your soul. You are becoming the kind of person who doesn't need motivation, who doesn't wait for feelings, who doesn't stop when it gets hard. You are becoming the kind of person who simply does the work. Most people think success is about talent, or luck, or connections. But strip it all away, and you'll see the truth. Success is about consistency. And consistency is born from discipline. That's why some of the most talented people in the world never make it. They had talent. They had sparks of motivation. But they didn't have discipline. And without discipline, talent is wasted. Without discipline, dreams die. Without discipline, nothing lasts. Think about the difference between a spark and a flame. A spark lights up the night for a moment, then disappears. A flame, tended carefully, grows and burns and spreads until it lights up everything around it. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the flame. And if you're serious about your life, if you're serious about your vision, you can't rely on sparks. You have to build the flame. And here's the truth. Discipline doesn't make life easier. It makes you stronger. Discipline doesn't remove obstacles. It makes you powerful enough to overcome them. Discipline doesn't eliminate failure. It teaches you to rise after every failure. Discipline is not about comfort. It's about resilience. It's about showing up when you're broken, when you're doubted, when you're tired, when you're ready to quit. Discipline is the voice inside that whispers, "Not yet. Keep going. One more step, one more rep, one more day." So, what will it be? Will you keep waiting for motivation, chasing highs that disappear the moment life gets hard? Or will you build the discipline to keep moving forward, even in darkness? Because greatness doesn't wait for feelings. Greatness doesn't bend to moods. Greatness is forged in silence, carved out of repetition, built on sacrifice. Greatness is born when you choose discipline over motivation, again and again, until it becomes who you are. Remember this: the world may not clap for you today. The world may not notice you tomorrow. But one day, the results of your discipline will be undeniable. And when that day comes, the same people who doubted you, who laughed at you, who ignored you, they will respect you. They will admire you. They will wonder how you did it. And the answer will be simple: discipline. Discipline is the reason the runner laces up their shoes when it's still dark outside, when the streets are empty, when the air is cold. Discipline is the reason the student keeps studying after midnight, long after the library has closed, long after their friends have fallen asleep. Discipline is the reason the entrepreneur works through rejection, through silence, through failure after failure until the breakthrough finally comes. And make no mistake, discipline will test you. It will test you on the days when your body aches, when your mind is foggy, when your heart feels heavy. It will test you when you're surrounded by people who chose the easy road, when you're tempted to quit, when you're tired of fighting battles that feel invisible. Discipline will ask you, do you really want this? Or are you just pretending? That's why discipline is the great separator. Anyone can be motivated for a week. Anyone can be motivated for a month. But discipline is the reason some people last for years, decades, entire lifetimes chasing and achieving greatness. Discipline is the reason you see one person rise above thousands. Discipline is the reason legends are remembered. And here's the paradox. Discipline is painful in the moment, but freedom in the long run. Comfort is pleasurable in the moment, but prison in the long run. Choose comfort now, and you chain yourself to regret later. Choose discipline now, and you unlock freedom later. Freedom to live the life you dreamed of. Freedom to stand tall, knowing you paid the price. Freedom to look back and say, I didn't quit. I didn't give in. I became who I was meant to be. So if you're listening to this, understand. Motivation will not save you. Motivation will not carry you to your dreams. Motivation is the spark that gets you started, but discipline is the engine that keeps you going. Without discipline, you will quit. Without discipline, you will fall. Without discipline, you will remain just another dreamer who never built anything real. But with discipline, unyielding, relentless, unbreakable discipline, you can move mountains. You can outlast storms. You can silence doubt. You can rise. This is the foundation. This is the beginning. This is the truth they don't tell you. Greatness is not about feeling good. Greatness is about doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. That is discipline. That is the weapon of the few. That is the path of the unstoppable. So, ask yourself, are you ready to stop chasing feelings and start building discipline? Are you ready to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating it? Are you ready to step into the dark, to work in silence, to sacrifice in loneliness, knowing that the world may never see the struggle, but will one day witness the result? Because if you are, then you've already taken the first step toward greatness. The step that most will never take. The step that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. The step of discipline. It is the universal language, the one thing every human, no matter where they were born, no matter what they believe, no matter how much wealth they own, knows. Pain is the great equalizer. You can be rich or poor, famous or invisible, strong or weak. Pain doesn't care. It knocks on every door. And when it enters, it asks you the same question it has asked every warrior, every champion, every dreamer who ever lived. Will you break, or will you rise? Most people run from pain. They numb it. They bury it. They pretend it isn't there. They chase comfort, hoping to escape it. But you, if you are listening to this, you must be different. Because if you want greatness, if you want to stand above the crowd, if you want to carve your name into the stone of history, you must learn to do something the ordinary cannot. You must learn to embrace pain. Not because you enjoy it, not because you are reckless, but because pain is the furnace. And only in the furnace is grit forged. Think of the strongest steel. It was once raw, unshaped metal, worthless on its own. But when fire touched it, when heat and hammer struck it again and again, it became a sword. It became a blade sharp enough to cut through anything. That is you. You are the raw metal. And life, with all its setbacks, rejections, heartbreaks, and failures, is the fire. Every time it burns you, it is shaping you. Every time it hammers you, it is forging you. Every time it tries to break you, it is making you sharper, stronger, deadlier. But here's the secret. Most people never stay in the fire long enough. They run when the heat rises. They quit when the hammer strikes. They escape when the pressure builds. And so, they remain soft, unforged, unready. Not you, not anymore. You will stand in the fire. You will welcome the hammer. You will understand that pain is not punishment. It is preparation. Pain is not weakness. It is the birthplace of strength. Pain is not your enemy. It is your ally, if you dare to face it. Look at the stories of every great warrior, every leader, every builder of empires. They all have one thing in common: pain. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in a cell and came out stronger. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before the light bulb was born. Abraham Lincoln lost elections, lost businesses, lost loved ones, and still became one of history's greatest leaders. They did not rise in spite of pain. They rose because of it. You cannot escape this law. If you want to rise, you must pay in suffering. You must sacrifice sleep, comfort, certainty, popularity. You must walk through nights of doubt. You must stand when your knees shake. You must keep breathing when the world is suffocating you. And in those moments when the pain is unbearable, when you think you cannot go on, when quitting feels like the only escape, you must remember, this is the test. This is the furnace. This is the very moment grit is being forged inside you. The ones who quit will never know. They will live easier lives, perhaps, but shallow ones. They will never know the taste of victory. They will never know the roar of triumph. They will never know the strength of someone who walked through fire and came out unburned. But you will. Because when pain whispers, "Stop," you will answer, "Not yet." When pain screams, "Give up," you will growl, "I am not done." When pain claws at your mind, when it pounds at your body, when it tries to break your soul, you will rise. Again and again and again. That is grit. Not talent, not luck, not gifts. Grit is the refusal to die, even when the world buries you. Grit is crawling on broken knees when you have no strength left. Grit is moving forward when every muscle begs to rest. Grit is standing tall when the storm has destroyed everything you built and saying, "I will build again." And here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Pain doesn't get easier. The storms don't disappear. The weight doesn't get lighter. You just get stronger. You just get sharper. You just get harder to break. That is why pain is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It is your sculptor. It is your furnace. So the next time life strikes you, do not ask, "Why me?" Ask instead, "What is this making me?" Because if you endure, if you keep walking, if you refuse to surrender, Pain will turn you into something no comfort ever could, unbreakable. This is part 2 of your journey. The furnace of pain, the shaping of grit, the test that separates the fragile from the fearless. It is the shadow that walks beside every dream. It is the whisper in your ear, the knot in your stomach, the weight on your chest. Fear doesn't need proof. It doesn't need facts. It lives in possibility, in imagination, in the what if that keeps you awake at night. What if you fail? What if they laugh? What if you're not good enough? Fear has been with humanity since the first fire, since the first hunt, since the first war. It kept us alive, yes, but it also kept us small. And here is the truth. The bigger your dream, the louder your fear. The closer you come to greatness, the more vicious fear becomes. But listen carefully. Fear is not the enemy. Fear is the compass. Fear points directly at the thing you must do. If you are afraid of it, it means it matters. If you are afraid of it, it means there is power behind it. Fear is the door, and courage is the key. And courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to walk forward in spite of it. You will never wake up fearless. No one does. The strongest warriors, the greatest leaders, the boldest dreamers, they all felt fear. What separated them from the crowd was simple. They moved anyway. They spoke anyway. They fought anyway. Fear says, you can't. Resilience answers, watch me. But fear has a brother. His name is doubt. And doubt is even more dangerous. Fear is external. It warns you of danger. Doubt is internal. It convinces you that you are the danger. Doubt says you're not smart enough, not talented enough, not worthy enough. Doubt doesn't attack your circumstances. It attacks your identity. And if you listen, if you allow doubt to live in your mind unchecked, it will poison everything. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. So how do you fight it? You fight doubt with action. You don't think your way out of doubt. You act your way out. Every time you take a step, even a small one, you silence it. Every time you move forward, you weaken its grip. Action builds confidence. Action builds proof. Action builds resilience. Resilience, the art of rising again and again and again. Resilience is not flashy. It doesn't live in speeches or highlight reels. It lives in the small, invisible choices no one sees. Getting up one more time. Trying one more time. Believing one more time. Resilience is boring, repetitive, relentless. But it is the most powerful weapon you own. Think of a tree in a storm. The wind bends it, the rain batters it, the lightning strikes it. But it does not break because its roots are deep. That is resilience. The storms will come. You cannot stop them. But if your roots are deep, you will endure. How do you grow those roots? By refusing to quit. By refusing to listen to fear. By refusing to bow to doubt. Each time you choose to continue, each time you rise after falling, your roots grow deeper, until one day no storm can uproot you. History is written by the resilient, the men and women who refuse to be broken, the soldier who survived when all seemed lost, the explorer who pushed past every failed expedition, the builder who rebuilt after every collapse. These are the names we remember, not because they never fell, but because they always rose. And you must decide right now that you will be one of them. That no matter how many times life knocks you down, you will rise. No matter how many times you fail, you will try again. No matter how many storms rage against you, you will stand. Because resilience is not just survival, it is transformation. Every time you rise, you are not the same. You are wiser. You are tougher. You are closer. Fear will chase you. Doubt will test you. Pain will shape you. But resilience, that relentless, unbreakable spirit, will carry you. So when your legs shake, when your lungs burn, When your mind screams enough, remember this: resilience is not about being unbreakable. It's about being unbroken, and that is grit. There will come a day when the hours you bled into the night, the sacrifices you made in silence, the pain you carried alone, all of it will rise to the surface. That day will not arrive with trumpets or fireworks. It will not announce itself with glory. It will come quietly, like the dawn, and suddenly, without warning, the world will see what you've built. The same people who doubted you will fall silent. The same ones who laughed will search for your name. The same ones who turned their backs will lean in, hoping for a piece of what you created. But you will not be surprised, because you knew that every drop of sweat was a brick, every sleepless night was a step, every sacrifice was an investment. You knew the day would come, not because of luck, not because of chance, but because you refused to quit. That is transformation. The weak version of you, the one who wanted comfort, the one who feared failure, that version died in the grind. And in its place rose someone unstoppable, someone who doesn't ask for permission, someone who doesn't flinch in the face of fear, someone who doesn't need applause because they know their worth. And here's the truth: the transformation was never about the trophy, the money, the recognition. Those are just symbols. The real victory is internal. It's in knowing you did what you said you would do. It's in knowing you became the person you once only dreamed of being. That is legacy. Legacy is not built in a single moment. It is built in thousands of invisible ones. Legacy is not built in front of the crowd. It is built in empty rooms, on cold mornings, in silent battles no one will ever see. Legacy is not about what you have. It's about what you leave. One day, someone will tell your story. The question is, what will they say? Will they say you started but never finished? That you dreamed but never built? That you lived safe, comfortable, forgettable? Or will they say you fought, you endured, you rose from nothing and became something? Will they say you gave up, or will they say you kept going? This is the choice in front of you right now: to live as a shadow or to live as a flame, to die with regret or to die remembered, to waste your chance or to burn so brightly that your light guides the ones who come after you. Understand this: your life is not just yours. Every step you take inspires someone else to move. Every wall you break makes it easier for someone else to break theirs. Every victory you earn plants the seed of belief in someone else's heart. Your discipline, your resilience, your grit, it is not only your salvation, it is your gift to the world. So keep going. Not for the applause, not for the validation, not even for the dream itself. Keep going because you refuse to live small. Keep going because you refuse to surrender. Keep going because somewhere out there, someone needs your story to believe in their own. This is the call. This is the moment. This is the line in the sand. Do not stop now. Do not wait for tomorrow. Do not let fear or doubt or comfort steal another second from you. This is your time. This is your fight. This is your life. And one day, when the laughter has died, when the doubt has faded, when the world finally sees what you have become, they will understand what you always knew: that you were never chasing motivation. You were building discipline. That you were never searching for easy. You were searching for growth. That you were never afraid of failing. You were afraid of not trying, and that is why you won. So when they laugh, keep going. When they doubt, keep going. When they turn their backs, keep going. Because in the end, it won't be the laughter that remains. It won't be the doubt. It won't be the rejection. It will be the work, the legacy, the transformation. It will be you, unstoppable, unbreakable, unforgettable. Keep going.